So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everybody, it's a new episode of Ho Ho Hong Kong. I'm sitting here with someone I'll introduce in a second, but no Vivek today. No Vivek, I think last week we had no me. I was doing a show. Actually, no, I was watching Nora Yang in... so Nora Yang, you might have heard her mention on the podcast before. She runs Spicy Comedy in Shanghai, and she was a young comic when she first started at Kung Fu Comedy. And now she's pretty much the biggest name in comedy in China, and one of the biggest. And her and her crew came to Hong Kong to do a showcase at the Polytech University and at the Jockey Club Theater. And so anyway, I was watching Nora's show, and it was a lot of fun, and it was good to catch up with her. And so this time no Vivek, and oh man, we're gonna get to it when he's back on the podcast. But I think you guys know, especially people on the WhatsApp group, Vivek is the opening act for Jimmy O Yang in Hong Kong. And as the time of recording, I went to the show last night and I saw him, and it was honestly Vivek is older, and obviously in many ways he's more experienced, but I also had this proud, I don't know, friend, dad moment, whatever it is, where I was just almost tearing up watching him, not just do really well. But Vivek, and I will, on the podcast, I'll talk to him about it, because he is someone who's generally very business-like, just everything is work. And when I saw him the night before, when he, the gig was confirmed and he did the rehearsals and everything, he was so giddy. And I've never seen him like that. I've never seen him genuinely bouncing about this show, and for a good reason. He was really excited. Obviously, huge opportunity. Coliseum is 12,500 seater. I believe for Jimmy's setup, it's about 10,000. Obviously, all sold out. And just Vivek came out guns blazing. He's the first act. There's nothing before him. So he is walking up to what we call in the business a cold room, and he just gets him going, man. He just gets him going, gets multiple applause breaks, just absolutely destroys. And at the time when we're recording right now, he is doing the Saturday shows, which is 3 and 8 p.m. And he's doing the Sunday. He's doing all 5 of them. So we'll get to it when Vivek is back. Another update that is kind of funny from my side is I had a couple of videos on Instagram that actually went a bit, viral, I guess. Mini Hong Kong viral. A couple of weeks ago, we talked with Daniel Fernandez about the hate comments and all of that. And I got a little taste of that. So if you go on my Instagram, The Other Muhammad, it's not really a plug. It's just, for context. I posted a couple of videos. I started, putting out more videos because, it's what comedians do, and you're not supposed to just hoard all your material and people don't know if you're legit or not, whatever. So by the time of this recording, I put 3 new bits. And one of them was about me going to Manila, and, you can see the bits or whatever. And I got generally positive feedback. And then I put this other one that is related to Hong Kong about how I made it to the expat bubble. And that went, as I said, kind of Hong Kong viral with over 80 comments by the time I'm recording this. And I don't want to say mixed reaction. A lot of it is positive. A lot of it is really positive. But then the negative is also quite harsh. So I started getting a little bit taste of that. And then the third video I put, which is making fun of myself a little bit. I'm poor in Hong Kong, but rich in Egypt. And again, it gained some traction. And, people, someone, for example, a comment that got 7 likes, which is, I guess significant that 7 people agreed with them. He said, "Are these paid actors to laugh?" And I'm like, ouch. You can obviously go on, comment. I am more than happy to engage because, between you and me, that is good for any kind of engagement is good because, keeps the algorithm going. It keeps the, whatever you call them, the overlords of this fucking robot going. So I'm happy for you. Everyone, please go on. Just say whatever you want. You can troll me. You can pretend that you don't like it. Whatever it is, it will help. But I had my following before was built with a couple of videos that I put from old Comedy Central tapings about. They're sort of translated in Arabic, and they're about context was a little bit more Middle Eastern. So a lot of my followers, the bulk of my followers are actually from Egypt, which is great, but it's also doesn't necessarily help me move tickets in Hong Kong. So the fact that I'm getting a little bit of traction in Hong Kong is cool. So please keep that going. Then we can put out more fun stuff. So let's get to our guest. Our guest, as you can tell from the title, is Drew Fralick. Drew is an old friend. He has been on the podcast before via Zoom, I believe, Drew?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So, and Drew used to be based in Shanghai doing stand-up. He started stand-up before me, actually. And you were pretty much at the first... Do you remember my first open mic? Were you there?
I do. Yeah, we talked a lot about it.
Please tell me.
The first time that Muhammad did open mic in Shanghai, I remember they called us all together for a meeting afterwards. And they said, these new comics, especially this one guy, you had a joke about cum in a bowl. And I remember we didn't remember.
What is cum in a bowl?
Like coming, semen in a bowl, in a,
I have no memory of that.
So, for those of you who follow Muhammad, you may be interested to know that for the first month he was doing comedy in Shanghai, nobody actually knew his name. We just referred to him as cum in a bowl guy.
Well, that is new to me. News to me right now.
You can ask. So we were like, these new comics, they're too dirty. It's a real threat to the scene, which but he found I've never even heard you do that bit. I think you did it one time.
No, yeah, it must have been obviously when you're brand new.
I think you had you wanted to say that for years, and then you got it off your chest, and then you started writing real jokes.
Right? Yeah.
So that was good.
That's amazing. So I remember I told the story before, so I'm not gonna do it again. But I remember Audrey Murray being the host of my first open mic. And man, she was a killer.
Yeah, she was great. She had the piano, the PowerPoint slides, the deadpan.
By the way, I'm gonna put the mic next to the shisha for a second because we're recording over shisha, so you can just hear this. Yeah, that's how professional we are.
That's right, and we have Turkish coffee with cardamom in it.
Yes, we are. Bonum Hawig for my buddies in Egypt. Cardamom coffee, and we're just having a great old time. And it's just one of these times when we just turn on the recorder and see what happens.
I wanted to comment on a few of your recent videos. Can I do that here?
Oh, please,
okay.
Yes. You did watch the videos. I don't even know.
I did. I watched the videos.
Okay.
So I follow Muhammad on Instagram.
Yeah.
The other Muhammad. He already plugged that, but
yes.
I'll go ahead and plug it again.
Yes, thank you.
I did watch the videos. I didn't comment. I tend to just like stuff. Yes. I don't really comment. I don't like to get...
I don't believe you liked either of them.
No, I did. I liked them.
Fine. I will check later.
Go back and check. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I didn't just scroll past it and go,
okay. But you watched them, yeah?
I did watch them, yeah.
Okay,
and
tell me your comments.
No, I connected with the Manila one. I enjoyed it. I've been to Manila, and I was there for a couple of days, and I liked that, and it was good, yeah.
Yeah, my buddy,
Keep going.
Mikey Andreas, who is, Shisha's going really well now, by the way.
Perfect.
You might hear us say that because it was hard to get it going, but now we're having a nice cloud. My buddy Mikey Andreas was one of the bigger comics in Manila. He shared actually the video because he was I even messaged him. I ran it past him before I put it online. I'm like, is this going to get me in too much trouble? And he was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, you don't want to run afoul of the Manila crowd.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Do you have comments on the other one? Or?
Well, the Manila one, I just wanted to say, I did go to... I tried some of the food in Manila. It was quite good.
Yeah.
It was Papa John's Pizza near the airport.
Yeah. They have a Wendy's there.
Oh, do they have a Wendy's
Yeah.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
And what the other 2 videos were? What? You'll have to remind me.
Well, one was about I said like the expat bubble thing. So
Okay.
I used to live. That's the one that went like quote unquote like proper viral.
When did you put that one out? Was that?
June 5. So that's about by now it's about 11 days ago.
Okay. I got you.
But yeah, like it has right now 40,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like again like so I think.
Yeah, because I put stuff on Instagram. You can follow me as well. It's Fralick_Drew. Very
Yes.
easy to remember.
Very easy to also be in the show notes.
But my video, they get like 6 views or whatever.
Well, there is something to it. Not that I claim to know. Like obviously, I would have more success if I know really the recipe. But I do believe that this particular one, and you are a mental health counselor by profession, so
Correct.
you might agree or
Yeah.
not. I think you need the content that goes viral.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
It needs to be upsetting.
I don't believe it's necessarily upsetting. It needs to provoke an emotion.
Oh, yeah, that's
that is
right.
beyond like I like this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of really good content. It needs to provoke. So there's a lot of really funny content of like cats jumping around or whatever.
Yeah,
But it
cute.
needs to provoke an emotion.
So
Is what I feel.
there's the 6 big emotions. We can get into that later
Yeah,
too.
oh,
The
yeah.
6, if it provokes one of the 6 big emotions, then I think
So I think
that's the
this
key.
one, maybe you can tell me which emotion did it provoke, because the bit quickly is about how I used to live in Chimtatroy, and that's Kowloon, and that's like where quote unquote the brown people live or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And the whole like obviously.
Okay, so
playful-
right there, shame.
Yes.
That's one of the 6 big
Shame,
emotions.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
shame. Yeah, shame.
Yes.
Tapping into the shame.
Tapping into the shame.
Mine evoke boredom, which is not one of the big 6 emotions. So that's okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So
And then I say I did better, and now I live on Hong Kong Island.
okay, so that's anger, jealousy.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
There
you
okay.
go.
Yeah. Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and then I ended by saying, "I'm sorry, your life still sucks if you still live there."
Right back to shame.
Yeah.
Right back to shame.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can
That's
write
great.
material around that. That's
You should
great.
you should write jokes that are like shame, anger, shame. That's a great. Shame is
Great
the most
sandwich, yeah.
the most powerful of the 6 emotions. Actually,
Amazing.
yeah. There you go. So
Yeah, that's amazing. But okay, so for people who are not familiar with you, you have such an interesting.
which is everyone.
yes, which is everyone. Not after this, people will
Okay.
be more familiar with
I
you.
was on the podcast like what was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Right when I first became the pastor of a church.
Right, that's
Yeah.
which is a perfect segue.
Yeah.
What the hell is a pastor of a church doing also professional stand up?
Yeah, so I was a comic for I don't know what has it been 15 years, something like that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So about 4 years ago, the pastor of our church was leaving, and they hadn't found a replacement. And
So you are just a church goer at that point.
I just
You're
go to
like
church.
A guy of who
yeah,
goes to church.
I sat in the back row.
Sure, sure.
I was there.
Yeah.
And he was leaving, and he said, "Why don't you be the pastor?"
Right.
I said, "What? How am I going to be the pastor? I've never done anything like that." He said, "Well, you're a comedian and
Yeah.
you're a mental health therapist.
Right.
That's basically a pastor. Like,
Huh.
you deal with mental health stuff and you give, speeches or whatever." And so I said, I don't really know if I'm interested in that. That sounds really different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, why don't you do the interim pastor, which is like you just do it till they find,
Right. Yeah,
a
yeah.
real pastor."
Yes, that's how the.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched the show Lost.
Yeah, Lost. Yeah.
Right. Like I think obviously they literally lost the plot towards the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
But one of
It got weird, yeah.
It got weird. But I remember one of the good plots of the show is that they were trying to trick one of the guys who was stuck in a basement was trying to trick Jack or whoever it is
Okay.
to take over from him.
Okay.
And he told him the exact same thing. He told him,
Okay.
"Oh yeah,
Okay.
the next guy is
Yeah.
gonna come. You
Yeah,
just
he's
have to-
coming. Yeah.
You have to keep resetting this
Yeah.
so the word doesn't end.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking bailed on him and ran away.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and watch
think
that
that's
episode.
basically what
That's
happened.
basically what they did to me. Yeah. So they said be interim, and,
Yeah.
and it won't take long. They'll find somebody within like a month.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was doing it, and they obviously didn't find anybody else.
Right.
But I started enjoying it. I was like, oh, I kind of like this job. It's pretty fun. And so later the next year, I said, hey, listen, I'll apply for this job, but I got to do it with my wife. You know, my wife is, you know, Laurie. She's
Yes.
very type A,
Yeah.
very like leader. You know, she's a leader. You know what I
She's
mean?
a leader,
She's
yeah.
a leader.
Natural born leader.
I'm like a clown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I always say like Laurie, she's like Barack Obama, and
Yeah.
I'm like George W. Bush. You know, like
Yeah.
people are like, that'd be a fun guy to have a beer with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, so we've been doing it for 4 years.
But wait. Like there is now that pops a few questions. Like
Okay.
number one is
Okay.
how. First of all, I obviously am not Christian,
Yeah.
and I don't know much about that word.
Yeah.
I didn't know pastor is a job.
Yeah, it's a job.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just like a regular job.
Yeah.
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 That's what is the job description?
Yeah, so you know, it is, you preach every Sunday. So it's like comedians, you know, they come up with like what, a new 45 minutes every couple of years or something like
Yeah,
that,
like
right?
that. I
Yeah.
said in the podcast before, like the highest level comedians, like the Dave Chappelle's of the
Yeah.
world, they come up with an hour a year.
An hour a
of
year, yeah.
touring every day.
Yeah.
that's how difficult this
But it's
job
tight.
is.
It's a tight hour.
Of course,
It's a tight hour.
Yeah.
So pastor, you preach every Sunday, and it's basically, you come up with a new 45 minutes every week.
Right.
Not as tight,
Yeah,
obviously.
yes.
And, you know, you can like steal material from John or Paul or Moses or something like that.
Right,
you know, you
yeah.
can read from the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, you come up with basically a new 45 minutes every week.
Right,
Which
and-
is daunting, you know.
Of course, it's
Yeah,
daunting. But
yeah.
do people like comedy? If you're like recycling material, they will call you out, or like you'd feel them like checking out and stuff. You know, of course, we've
Yeah,
all been
yeah,
there.
yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing a bit that too many people in the audience are
Yeah.
familiar with.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem with that is my bits are like 25 minutes long.
That's
so,
your comedy.
Yeah,
Not
so,
even the-
yeah, so people check out, you know, and then you got to sit through 24 and a half more minutes of the joke you've heard and are a little stale on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people do check out, but it's a whole different craft. You have to figure out, you figure it out. It takes a couple years to really
Yeah.
get good at it, but you figure it out, and
And how does that
find a
help
way,
you
yeah.
with comedy?
well, with comedy, it's like, you know, like tonight I'm going to do backstage
yes, actually,
comedy.
we didn't. Yeah, the main reason Drew's in Hong Kong, aside from catching up with me, is that he's headlining. By the time you're listening to this, show's over.
It'll already be over, but
Yeah.
you missed a lot of fun if you
Yes.
weren't there. Yeah.
Yeah. You tend to. We had to have an agreement of you not throwing stuff at the audience or
Yes.
not you using props, because that was one of your things back in Shanghai. Sometimes.
Yeah, back in the day, you know, I did a lot of prop comedy. I would throw, you know, would throw stuff in the audience.
I was like a Power Ranger once on stage, and
Oh,
one
yeah.
of your.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like a frog or something.
I would get like outfits for different comics to
Right.
wear, and we would have a fashion show, or it was all weird stuff, you know. There was one time my mom was in town in Shanghai for her birthday, so I got her a pinata to hit at the end of the show.
Yes.
And it was stuffed with cigarettes and hot la jiao, hot peppers and stuff like that. No, there won't be any of that tonight. I'll behave myself. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Hong Kong audience are pretty sophisticated. They are not really
Okay.
degenerates like our
Yeah.
Shanghai audience
No.
of drunk English teachers.
No. These
You also
people.
got to remember the ticket back then for pretty much all of the local shows were 50 RMB.
Yeah.
Tonight's ticket is 230 Hong Kong dollar, and that's considered cheap, but it's still
Yeah.
significant jump.
That's a big investment.
It's a big investment.
Yeah, so-
exactly. Yeah.
I'll be on my best behavior. I promise. Yeah.
But now going back to how does that help you with comedy?
Yeah, so I mean, you just get used to doing longer sets, you know. So it's like tonight I'll do 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just like that's kind of a normal length now, you know.
Do you sneak in like actual comedy bits in your sermon?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Give me an example.
Okay, so I did a sermon a couple weeks ago. What was it about? I'm trying to remember. I was talking about this idea of I was talking about racism,
Right.
you know, because my church is like mostly white,
Right.
And so
And
sometimes
you're in Detroit, which is a lot of black, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're like our church is right off of 8 Mile. Do people know what that is? 8 Mile. It's
Yeah, of
like
course, the
it's like the
Eminem
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a mile from Detroit or
Yeah.
whatever.
So Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah. I don't think it won an Oscar. Did
The
it?
song did. Lose
The song
Yourself
did.
Yes.
Have you seen that movie recently?
Not recently. Does it
It's-
not hold up?
It's not aged well.
Why?
I this was maybe a month ago. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch 8 Mile again.
Okay.
And I watched it. It's It's not good. It's not a good movie.
Okay.
You know, it's not a good
The
movie.
song is a
Yeah.
banger.
Yeah, the song's
It's
great.
one of the best songs of all time.
No, it's a great song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great song, but not a great movie. Really, it's like Steven Seagal, kind of that level.
Right,
It
yeah.
belongs in the DVD bin at Walmart, you know?
But as an 8 Mile resident,
Yeah.
of 8 Mile resident, does it represent the 8 Mile hood well?
Oh, you mean our church?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. It's very blue collar church.
Yeah.
You know.
So you were talking about racism.
Yeah, so I'm talking about racism. I'm trying to remember. You kind of put me on the spot here, but I'm trying to remember.
That's what we do on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I had like a joke that I had written about Adolf Hitler, and so I tried to throw that.
Okay, I'm on board now.
I tried to throw in this joke about Adolf Hitler. Oh, I remember what it was. I was saying that you know, because there's this thing in comedy like baby Hitler jokes.
Right,
People know
yeah,
what that
yes.
is,
Yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
So there's like this like trope in comedy like baby Hitler, like would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that,
It's very,
right?
very tried, like
Yeah.
tired premise.
Yeah, people had talked about that.
Yeah.
So in my sermon, I was trying to talk about, you know, racism and how Adolf Hitler was a huge optimist and not a good guy, but
Right.
he's optimistic.
Yes,
that's
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Just to
Yes.
be clear, not a good guy.
Well,
Okay.
I'm definitely cutting this out of
The
context.
the podcast does not endorse Adolf Hitler, but he was an optimist. You know, he
Right.
thought, oh, you know, I can make the world a better
He
place.
was an ambitious person.
Yeah, not a-
ambitious.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
is
Yeah.
still appropriate.
But again, let me be clear, not good guys. So anyways,
Yeah.
so I was saying that what they should have done is they should have taken Adolf Hitler to the future,
Right.
to like a Six Flags amusement park
Right,
in
right.
America,
Yes.
where he could see all the people like overweight Americans eating
Yes.
hot dogs
Yeah.
and like, you know, wearing tube tops and
Yeah.
like going down roller coasters. And if he had seen Six Flags, he would have not believed that, you know, whites were the supreme race. Because he'd be like, look at
That's
these
a good-
people.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I tried that
Yes.
during church, and it flopped. You know, it was a huge flop.
Why?
I think I didn't go. I kind of bailed halfway through it. You know.
I see. Which is not your usual. Like
No.
you usually commit.
Yeah, I was a little thrown off,
Right,
and
right.
I lost my nerve.
Yeah. Okay.
But I explained it to some people later. They thought it was hilarious, obviously. So yeah, you can insert things in. I did my first year pastoring. I did like 6 funerals the first 6 months. Like a bunch of people.
Is that just part of the job?
Yeah, you do people's funerals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people had passed away, like all in succession, right when we
Are
first
they
started.
usually like your usual church goers?
Yeah. So churchgoers, they passed away.
Yeah.
And I remember this one guy. It was the first funeral that I did as pastor, and the church was just like packed. There was
Right.
more people there than I've ever seen there ever.
Wow.
It was the most. There was probably 400 people
So
there.
the person who passed away was probably like loved, like
Yeah.
a popular person.
Yeah, very popular,
Okay, yeah.
like big person in the community or whatever. And I tried to do a joke during his eulogy,
Yeah.
and that really bombed.
Oh man.
That was really.
What was the joke?
The joke was like, you know, what is heaven like? What will it be like? You know, will the Detroit Lions always be like winning in playoffs or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know,
There is also something. Obviously, your community knows you're a comedian, right?
yeah, they know. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I think there is something cringy about like someone who is trying to be funny if
Yeah.
you are not really familiar with
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Like when people are like, you know, not necessarily like a boss or whatever, but like maybe yes, like a pastor actually is
Yeah.
a good example.
Yeah.
Like or like in our word, the imam. If the imam is trying to be funny, a lot of the times it's kind of cringe because you're like, dude, like just. You know,
Yeah, just read the script.
just read the script.
Just read the script.
Yeah. You have to have a particular skill, and you do have it.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're like, obviously, you know, if you're not reading the room or whatever.
Yeah, read the room. Like you're at a funeral. Don't. It's not your comedy special. You know.
Yeah.
Our church is pretty wild too because they know that I'm a comedian, and
Yeah.
so they'll heckle me during the sermon.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's a normal thing.
Right.
Like people will shout stuff out.
Do you do crowd work with them? Do you like
Yeah.
banter with them?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah. And there's kind of like 4 or 5 people who are like the regular hecklers.
Right.
And they'll
So what
yell.
do they say usually?
They'll just try to throw me off. You know,
Right,
they'll
right.
shout something at me. You know, they'll say, "Oh, but you do that" or something. You know, whatever. And
Which again, like I don't believe I've even been in any like regular service before. Maybe I passed by and like while traveling or whatever. But obviously, at least for me, the traditional way of like a sermon in a church is very one way.
Yeah.
I don't believe like except for like the amen or whatever.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, hallelujah. Yeah,
Yeah. Stuff like this, like
Yeah.
someone getting in the zone. I
Yeah.
don't believe anyone like really heckles.
Yeah.
So the fact that you,
It's not that common. Yeah,
it's not that but that's cool.
yeah, it's cool. And you know, the other thing too is our church. Interestingly, we have a few comics who are like members at the church
Right,
too.
yeah.
So they moved to Detroit and became like members of the church.
Yeah.
And they were doing comedy before.
Yeah.
And there's one lady, she sits in the front row actually, and she's a comic. She's been doing it for like 10 years. So it's a very comedy-friendly church.
Yeah.
Maybe the most comedy-friendly church in America.
I can imagine.
One could argue, yeah.
Yeah, but you also have like in America, there's a market that I'm sure you're familiar with of like church comedians, right? Like or like religious comedians.
Oh, right, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
like a whole like Christian comedy
Christian-
circuit.
Yeah.
And it's like
So,
a whole world unto itself.
How does that overlap? Not necessarily overlap. How much does it like come close to what you do? Because to me, it sounds like it almost is kind of close.
It's a little bit different because like Christian comedians generally most of the time perform mostly in churches or like church
Right.
conferences or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm a little bit weird because I started out doing comedy and then went to the church world.
Yeah.
And but there's some overlap.
But you also wrote a show, or you just recorded it actually.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Right. That is, I don't believe it's Christian comedy, but it's like according to you, it's basically half sermon, half comedy. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I recorded a show about 2 weeks ago. It's called Commentary.
Yeah.
And it's not Christian comedy because I've done the show in other places that thought they were about to watch Christian comedy and very quickly realized, wait, what is this? I did a show last year in Michigan and it was at a cafe. The room was full
Yeah.
and people thought like, okay, we're here to watch Christian comedy.
Right.
Well, then I get into it and like, they're like, wait, this is not what we thought it was. And
So what when you said you got into it, was it like more like, oh, it's a regular sermon that like threw them off?
No.
Or was it more regular comedy that threw them off?
it was a more regular comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so this show is basically it's called Commentary, a blending of sermon and stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried to take like the last 4 years of writing sermons
Yeah.
and the craft that goes into that and combine it with what I know about comedy and basically try to blend the two artistic genres.
Do you
And
believe writing a sermon is artistic?
oh yeah.
Okay, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just like literature.
No, I mean like writing a sermon is artistic craft.
Yeah.
Just like storytelling, just like comedy, just like anything.
Yeah.
There's a whole way of doing it, which I didn't realize
Yeah.
when I first started. I thought, oh, it's just like comedy. You stand up there, you talk,
Yes,
blah, blah,
yes.
blah. It's like a whole different genre, which I've discovered. And it's been very interesting to
Yeah.
get good at that and
Well-
figure out how to do that well.
Well, that also ties into your doctorate that you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're doing it also along the same lines.
Yeah.
Can you explain what your doctorate will also be like? I'm sure everyone listening knows. I don't. You can correct me. Doctor is like bachelor's, master's, doctorate, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so doctor is like the high. There's nothing higher
There's nothing higher.
in that
Yeah.
form of whatever study, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, you're officially a doctor.
I guess that's correct.
Yeah, you have a
yes.
doctorate
Yeah.
in what is it? What would it be? Doctorate in what?
Yeah, so the doctorate I'm doing right now is in relational neuroscience and spiritual formation.
Oh my God, those are two big words. Way above my pay grade, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, give on. This is a good time to remind folks we got a Patreon. Go ahead and give
Yes,
on that.
exactly,
We
yeah.
got bills to pay, folks.
Yes, we got bills to pay. Patreon.com/ohopod. When you will definitely get Drew to talk. Like there is obviously some chat before or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk." For example, I don't want to talk about like the particular comics or whatever. I'm gonna get him to do that on the Patreon.
Oh, that's on the Patreon.
Yes,
oh, I
exactly.
gotcha.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
great.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep going.
Yeah, so the doctorate is, relational neuroscience just basically means like how our brains are affected by the relationships we have, specifically early childhood attachments to our parents.
Yeah.
And then how that influences the relationships, friendships, love relationships that we have later in life.
Yeah.
And how that can contribute to a whole bunch of either mental wellness or mental disorder, all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of the one side of it. And then the spiritual formation side, this is kind of looking at the Christian practices of like meditation and different
Christian
disciplines.
has meditation?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Christians have been meditating forever.
I thought it's like a Buddhist thing.
No, there's lots of Christian meditation.
Okay, what is that like? What is it like?
So I don't know a lot about Buddhist meditation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the
I
difference
think it's like,
is.
because I practice yoga and, sometimes it's like you start with like 10-minute meditation.
Yeah.
So like you're sitting in one spot and
Yeah.
you're closing your eyes. You're doing breath exercises.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, notice your body and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that in Christian meditation.
Yeah.
For example, there's one type of prayer called centering prayer. And the way you do that is you sit and you clear your mind,
Yeah.
and then you have like one word that you will pick out. The word could be just something simple. It could be love
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And basically, you sit there, you meditate, and every time your mind starts to wander to something,
Yes.
you just kind of repeat that word in your mind to kind of bring you back to center.
Yeah.
And you're essentially trying to just clear your mind and connect with God and yourself and your body and all that
Huh.
in one.
Yeah.
So we study things like that, all that
And
stuff.
how do you use this doctorate as a profession after that? Like, what do you teach it? Do
Yeah,
go
so
to
you
universities
can
and-
work at a university, you could be a pastor, you could be a therapist.
Okay.
You can
And what would you like to do? Like, ideally, after you get it, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so for me, I think that I've done counseling, I've done coaching, I've done, what we call shepherding, just like helping people along.
Right.
So I think, for the rest of my career, I'll just be doing that. I'll be helping people figure life out, you
Yeah.
know, and using what I've learned to kind of help that along. So,
Well, I want to move on a little bit to the Detroit comedy scene.
Yes.
Because I think that's
Let's do.
Yeah, some of the
something
more,
I know very little about.
yeah, but it's also like a
I've
lot
been
of
there.
the funny stories you have told me were actually over that, because it's obviously, again, correct me if I'm wrong, it's obviously like kind of, I wouldn't say a young scene, but it's like more like not very, it's a small scene, I think.
It's not a young scene. It's
Yeah.
been there for a while. It's probably a medium-sized scene, I would say. Yeah.
But there is a lot of like what we call like the hell rooms, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of what would you call that? Like a room, like you're trying to do comedy, but they've got Monday Night Football on in the background,
Right, yeah,
or,
yeah.
or people are eating fish and chips and
Yeah.
talking, or somebody's having a birthday. Yeah, there's a lot of rooms like that.
Yeah, but there's also like
That's everywhere though, right?
it is. I
They
was
have
gonna
that
say,
in Hong
do you remember
Kong.
Zapatas?
Yeah, Zapatas.
Yeah. It's old Shanghai folks. There was a Mexican bar on Hua Shan Lu called Zapatas, and someone started an open mic there. And it was like I remember it was a Monday night, and we would go, and they had like a taco night or whatever at the
Yeah.
same time. And there was a lot of people there who are not there for comedy, and they don't know there is comedy.
Yeah.
They're just there for cheap tacos.
Yeah.
And we were forcing comedy on them. But
And
I
then-
think the difference is that you were telling me as well that like it can get kind of dicey because everyone has a gun.
Well, not everyone has a gun,
Okay,
but
most people do.
it's hard. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, sure. For the
Yeah.
sake of the podcast, sure.
Yeah.
We'll say that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it can get. Open mic can always be messy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, but in Hong Kong, I mean, there's no guns in Hong Kong, right?
No.
Are there's no guns here.
No, there is a very, very, very small number with the triads. And obviously that's just like that's the actual gangs, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So the gangs, like I have seen not a shootout, like a shoot, what is it called? Like when you shoot a window of a store?
Oh, that's a drive-by. A drive-by, yeah.
I have seen it myself in TST.
Oh,
Go back
really?
to the video. It's like,
Really?
"Hey, why do you think I get the fuck out?
Wow.
Yeah. I've seen
Wow.
it like, and when I asked my like,
Out of curiosity, what were they shooting? What was the
they
store?
were shooting a storefront that I understood later means like you're not paying rent, or it's either you're not paying rent or you're like, you didn't pay your fee.
Oh, you didn't pay your fee.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we shoot out your windows.
Yeah. It was also like a way to destroy the business because obviously people be like, oh, fuck, this is a dangerous place.
Yeah. Like you're not gonna go buy croissants at the place that just got their windows shot
Correct.
out.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was on my rooftop on Tim Tatsuo, just looking over.
Wow.
Because I just like...
What time of day was it?
It was like 10 p.m. or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was like...
That's
yeah.
good. You want to get it out of the way early in the evening. You know, you don't want to stay up all night.
No, and I've seen it because the wheels feels like the braking like got my attention. And I looked, and then someone jumped out of an Audi, shot a couple of bullets at the front, obviously shattering the windows, and they just got in the car and ran away.
Oh, they got out of the car.
I don't actually remember. Maybe they shot while they are in the car.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because in America, drive-bys, they're kind of like the McDonald's drive-through. You know, you just want to stay in the car.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cold out. You know,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
want to
it's
just
comfortable.
roll the window down. You have
Yeah.
your seat warmers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But where you are also, like, and I think you might have even mentioned this like a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was legitimately like kind of scary during COVID, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were saying also, and I think maybe until now a little bit, is that the cops are kind of like hands off. Like the whole city is kind of like a bit loose.
It's changing, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, like Detroit, I'm sure people are familiar somewhat with like Detroit's story and like going
Well,
through
give us a very quick crash course.
So basically, 80s and 90s, Detroit was like the murder capital of the world.
Right.
Lots of crime.
Of the word.
Yeah, for a
Oh,
while
shit,
there.
okay.
For a while there, it was. Yeah, I mean, like the 60s and 70s, a lot of companies left. There was
Yeah.
white flight. There was a lot of like just pulling out of Detroit. And then the 80s and 90s, it was, you know, it was just kind of a lot of crime.
Right.
And then in 2010, the city went through bankruptcy. So I think it's the only major city in the U.S. that went through like a bankruptcy.
So,
And
what does that entail? Like, it means the whole city doesn't have money for its services and stuff.
Right, right,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So then for a couple of years they had like a emergency manager. They didn't have a mayor. They essentially had like I think it was like a federal manager.
Yeah.
And now things are like turning around a lot. There's a lot of people moving in and services are way better. There's
Yeah.
still a long way to go, but I mean things are quite a bit different than they were even 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
things are better, but there's still, you know, it's not like Hong Kong where
Right.
you can just walk around at 3:00 in the morning and just
Yeah.
like you're fine, right? I mean that's how it is
can
here.
Can you do that in downtown Detroit at night? Like if I'm
You
just
can.
visiting you and then like I go out at the bar and walk back by myself or whatever.
You're
Because you live
probably-
in like downtown.
Yeah, you're probably fine, but there's certain neighborhoods you wouldn't want to go to, you know,
Yeah.
after dark or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not a great idea.
What would you like? Would you get caught in a crossfire, for example, or was it more like someone
No,
would
I
mug
mean,
you?
no, it's not like the Donbass region of Ukraine or something, but it's just, you know, you never know. I mean, there's just certain places you don't want to be out at night. You have no business being in certain neighborhoods, and
Right.
it's
yeah.
just
Would
stuff.
you get
Stuff
like,
can
mugged
happen.
or something?
Maybe, yeah, it's possible.
Okay,
yeah,
I
it's not
see.
like CrossFit. It's not like
I don't watch too many movies.
yeah,
man.
it's not like you seen Enemy at the Gates. It's not
Yes,
like
yes.
yeah.
Or the town.
Yeah, it's not the tractor factory at Enemy of the Gates, you know.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not like that. But
But
Yeah.
yeah, bringing it back to Shanghai, when we
Yes.
started, we had also our own like hell rooms, and
Yeah.
we had many of them.
yes,
But going back to what you were saying about like committing to the bit and stuff like this,
Yeah.
you were like for a longest time, and the equivalent of you here would be Tambi Chan, who is just like a comedian's comedian,
okay,
and you were also the comedian's comedian.
Okay.
Because we just like to watch you from the back of the room.
Yeah.
And we have in the business what we call playing to the back of the room.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you would do that.
yeah,
And just like, try to make your friends laugh.
yeah.
And if the audience get on board, great. But a lot
Sure,
of times
sure.
they didn't.
Sometimes they did. You know, it was fine sometimes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like it takes a certain level of, I think, commitment to,
Sure. Yeah.
to do that. How did you like I think the simplest way to ask you, why do you do that? Like,
Well-
why aren't you just doing regular stand-up?
Yeah, so, you know, the real comedy is, you know, it's not about making people laugh or telling jokes. I mean, that's kind of a myth, right?
No, but
Oh, okay.
keep going.
No, I mean, real comedy is about commitment. That's what it really is about, you know.
Okay,
it's
I will
about,
yes and you and see where this goes.
It's about commitment, you know. It's about putting your mind to something
Yeah.
and then following. It's about follow through.
I believe. I agree with you to the idea of like it's getting the audience to really see what you are saying, like, or to really see what you're thinking, right? Like really put them through. Like,
Put them through some stress.
It could be stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in your case, yes.
Sure.
A lot of time. But it's like, yeah, because obviously you're saying it because it makes you laugh. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, like I enjoy it.
Exactly.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
yeah.
I referenced this before. Like, there is a really good talk called Talking Funny. You might know it.
Yeah.
With like Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K., Gervais, and Chris Rock. And one of them was talking about like if it makes me laugh, it's now my job to get the audience to see what I'm seeing.
Sure.
And that's it. Like once that's the job.
Yeah.
Or that's the craft.
Yeah, try to convince them that,
Yes,
it is
try
funny.
to convince them that this glass of water is funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And how good you are
Yeah.
is like, if you actually see it, they will laugh.
Yeah.
Because they now are in your head.
Yeah, or they may not. and that's okay too, I guess, cuz
Well, it's not okay for a producer.
well, it'll be painful for people. But maybe your comedy impacted them or something,
Let's mention one of those one of those legendary stories that I think I might have mentioned, but not when you're on, which is the final of the Hong Kong International Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The one that both of us were on,
Right.
and Chris Baker ended up winning.
Yes.
And you were like, so the back.
Oh, no, this is the China one, not the Hong
China.
Kong.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
China one,
yeah, the China one.
Yeah, yeah.
So the very quick version of it is like China International Comedy Festival, running a festival. People are flying in from Asia. It's like pretty good.
Yeah, they fly in, yeah.
Fly in, like big international festival, good talent. In the prelim, you absolutely destroy. Like in the prelim round, you're basically went into the final as the favorite, like in the gambling terms.
Right.
You are like like if people are
Right.
putting money on, you're like, oh, that's my horse.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put money on this.
They would have lost money that night.
Yeah, definitely. So again, you're like, we all know who you are, like the guys who are coming from here, Garen,
Yeah.
Tambi, whatever. They're coming in. I think these guys were also on the final. I was on the final. Everyone was terrified of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified.
They shouldn't have been.
Yeah, so I have a video of this as well, because
you
I have
do?
a video of my own set and you were right before me.
You have the video of that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. I want
I'll
to see
dig
that
it up.
video.
I will watch.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
So you decide to go up dressed up as Lady Macbeth.
Yeah, Lady Macbeth. Yeah.
Yeah, which, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
it is-
Shakespeare.
Well, but it's also a set you have never done before, I imagine. I think.
No, I've never done that set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you decide.
I wrote it.
You wrote it for the final.
I wrote it out, yeah.
But I want people to understand, we're not talking about an open mic, like little jokey thing. At the time, and this is no exaggeration, this is one of two biggest comedy festivals in all of Asia.
Right.
The Hong Kong one and the China one,
Yeah.
where all of it, people are flying. It's a big deal. You're
Yeah.
also winning 40,000 or 30,000 RMB. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
You win a spot at the Comedy Cellar.
Yes.
Like, it's legitimately,
It's
objectively a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing, yeah.
So just walk me through your, not just like even what you were thinking on stage, but like why, just your thought process.
I thought, I want to do something special for the finals. I think somebody, I can't remember who it was. One of the comics told me like, you can't do like your old bits on the finals.
Oh, that comic did not want you to win.
Well, they succeeded, didn't
Yes,
they?
exactly. I know
So-
it wasn't me because I liked you too much
So
to do that to you.
one of the comics, I can't remember who, but he told me, he said, you can't do old bits on the finals.
No,
And so
that was a rule. That was a rule, actually. That is true.
you couldn't do stuff that you had done in the prelims.
Correct, yes.
In the finals.
Yes.
But he said, you can't do old bits. You got to, you should do something new. And I thought,
That was not a rule.
that's not a rule. Yeah, I found out later. Yeah.
No, but you're now making it sound
Yeah.
like you got tricked into writing.
No, I didn't get tricked.
Yes.
Yeah. I sound like Donald Trump. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah, exactly. First, I killed.
Yeah.
I don't know what the wrong.
killed. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, the audience was stupid.
Yeah.
I was the best.
This is the worst audience ever. Okay.
So, yeah.
Anyway, so I thought I want to write something special for the finals.
Yeah.
And so I wrote this piece. It was more of a it wasn't stand up. We could say that.
Yeah, we can say that. Yes, we can definitely.
It wasn't
say that.
stand up. It was more of a performance piece. It was performance art.
But what?
So it was Lady Macbeth. What I had done is I dressed up like Lady Macbeth, and I had taken one of her famous monologues.
Yeah.
From Shakespeare, where she says, she's sleepwalking,
Yeah.
and she's saying "out damn spot" and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I had taken that, and what I did is I would do a couple lines from that monologue.
Yeah.
And then I would do a couple lines from like female singer songwriters from the 80s, 90s, and today.
Right.
And I would mix them in
Yeah.
and kind of weave them
Yeah.
together in this.
Remember, this is also like a 12-minute set.
Yeah, it was lengthy. It was lengthy. Yeah. So it was, and once you get on the bus, you're on. There's no backup plan.
I think there is no backup.
I mean, you
plan.
come on stage in a dress. Like, what are you supposed to do?
That's the problem.
That's full commitment. That's full commitment. You got a wig
could have
on.
Bailed without.
Yeah, like 5 minutes before you could have bailed.
The funny part is, I don't know if you remember. You probably remember it being one of the hottest bombs in the history of mankind.
I don't know if it was the hardest bomb. It was.
I think it was bad.
It was not great.
No, but the point is,
people didn't know what was going on.
What makes me laugh the most is that you actually did try to bail at like minute 9.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
All right.
I have the video.
Okay.
So you actually tried to bail at like minute 9. Basically, after the entire... You did
Yeah,
commit.
it was done. It was done.
It was done.
And then I had 3 minutes left.
So you tried to get into regular
So
material.
the problem was, first of all, if you're listening to this and you're a new comic, let me
Yeah.
give you a little bit of advice.
Yes, please.
When you write something, make sure you fill the time. Because
Yes.
if you have 3 minutes left at the end and you're standing up there in a dress,
Yes.
it's very hard to go into regular material.
Yeah, which you did try to do.
I did. I was like, hey, what's up with airline food in
Yes.
China?
I think you might have gone into like Katy Perry bit that you had.
Yeah, it might have been Katy Perry. Yeah, it was singing, so similar.
It was still similar. Yes,
it was
yes.
adjacent,
Yes.
Yeah, it was adjacent.
Which I think maybe it was still like a smarter choice. I think because you're like, oh, I'm not gonna change gear completely.
Yeah, it was within the realm of singing and stuff
Yes,
like that.
and it did not work.
No, it didn't work. So what happened was after the competition was over, one of the judges, who was a very nice guy, he just walked up to me and just gave me a big hug. And he didn't even say anything.
Didn't say anything.
He just patted me. It's like when your cat dies or something and your dad gives you a hug. Like,
Yes.
He was just like, it'll be all right,
Yeah.
And
I also think like this is not like obviously we're close friends and we trash each other whatever.
Sure.
But I genuinely think that you being okay with bombing more than most comics is kind of inspiring. And
well, thank you, Muhammad.
I know.
Oh, I
it
appreciate
sounds
that. Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever. Again, like us trashing each other.
Sure.
But I actually think it's like kind of admirable because a lot
That's-
of comics, including myself,
That's very sweet of you.
I think a lot of comics, including myself, are
Right.
so nervous to get every time to the next laugh so quickly.
Right.
And you're so comfortable in the silence. That is like,
Yeah, no, it's not.
how is he at peace with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, it goes back to Christian meditation. That's what comedy can be. Just silence, just pure. It's nice to just have a break from all the noise, And if I can provide that to people too, that's a service. I mean, people paid money. They may not get to laugh, but maybe they'll get a little mental break.
But I think the difference between you and comics bombing, and which we see all the time and whatever, is that like your bombing is deafening. Because a lot of it is like very like high energy, very like yelly, very like
Right, yeah.
carry it with energy.
Yeah.
But it's just like
And then when it's silence afterwards,
Yes.
it hits. It really hits. The silence really hits.
Yes.
Did I tell you about the time I bombed in Shanghai last year?
no.
Okay, you'll like this story.
So you came back and continued to bomb after many years.
Yes. I came back and continued to bomb. So,
Okay, tell me.
last year I came to Shanghai for like a week, and I had just flown in.
Yeah.
And I think it was my second day there, and they had an open mic,
Right.
and I contacted one of the comics, and I said, hey, can I get on the open mic? And he was so excited. He goes, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. We're going to have you closed. It's going to be so great. And he starts messaging all the other comics
Right.
in Shanghai who have never met me. He
Right.
goes, you got
They
to
have
come.
heard of the
Yeah,
legend.
Yeah, the legend. Yeah, oh, you got to
Yes.
come see this guy.
Yes.
You got to come see this guy. He's
Yeah.
unbelievable. He's amazing, And so I go to this open mic, and again, it's my second day there. It's
Right.
like jet lag is very intense.
Sure.
So I get up there, and I literally fell asleep on stage. I fell asleep. I was so tired. I fell asleep for I think maybe 45 seconds.
Right.
And somebody like patted me, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I woke up in this room, and there's just 50 people just staring at me, and this hot light,
Oh my god.
and then I kind of rambled about something or another. I don't even remember. I was just rambling. It was like
Yeah.
a dream. So then finally it hits 9 minutes, and they give me the light, and I say, hey, I just saw the light. that's good news for me.
Yeah.
And so then I went off, and it was a horrible bomb. And
Yeah.
all the comics were like, that guy sucks at comedy.
That's the legend. That's the Drew Fralick that
yeah,
everyone
it
was scared
It
of.
was great. Yeah, it was a hard bomb.
We,
I try to make it special when I bomb, if I can.
No, that I agree with you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always memorable.
Yeah, it's always.
Well, again, I try to, make it, whatever, and try to make it a bit serious. Maybe what we do remember of watching a show is like, or maybe the takeaway is memory.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you watch a movie or a play,
Right.
and even if it was good, it's not memorable.
Yeah. So again, real comedy, not about writing jokes or making people laugh. That's just a
Right.
myth.
Yes.
It's about creating memories.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what real comedy.
See, that,
Yeah.
I don't agree with the first part, but I do agree with the second part. I don't even think it's comedy. It's real art, I think.
People say like, "Oh, you got to write jokes." That's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, you can also create a memory by being a Gary Jackson. That's a memory of everybody in the audience. I guarantee you will never forget that day for the rest of their life.
No, they'll cherish that day.
You will cherish that. So very, very briefly, Gary Jackson is the comedian who a few years ago in Hong Kong at an open mic got heckled by someone in the audience and picked up a pint of a glass of beer and glassed the person in the face.
Right.
And while that part is this part being funny is up for debate for sure.
Right.
I think we can agree that for the audience it was very memorable.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, memorable is one way to put it. Some may call it traumatic is another.
But that's still a memory, as you're a
Sure, traumatic memory. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Traumatic is traumatic memory, right?
Yeah. So 230 Hong Kong dollars tonight. You may have a good night. You may have a traumatic memory. You never know. It's spin the wheel.
It's just before we wrap up, and we'll get into this more on the Patreon. We'll also, I've been in Hong Kong for a couple of days, and we've been, trading stories about like the old days in Shanghai and
Yeah.
stuff. We have both done horrible rooms around China.
Yes.
And you mentioned one in Hefei, I think.
Oh yeah, Hefei.
Yeah, Hefei. Just like that's probably stood out to me the most as one of the worst. Just like describe to the audience that night.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was this dive bar in Hefei, which
Yeah.
is like a town in central China.
Yeah.
And-
Capital of Anhui province.
Oh yeah, capital of Anhui province. Yeah. And I just remember, it was weird. There was probably 100 Lawais there.
Yeah.
And
Guaylo for people.
Oh, Guaylo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Guaylo. Look at that. Learning a new word. And every single one of them was smoking cigarettes.
Right.
It was like a cigar lounge.
Right.
You couldn't even see the back of the room because it was so smoky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was one of the worst rooms. You might remember the show in Quenshan
Oh, yeah.
where the venue caught on fire during...
Yes.
And
That's
I
a
think,
legendary story.
what was the name of that bar? I think it was called like the Flame Bar or something.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
I don't remember.
It was something fire related,
Yeah,
which was ironic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that ceiling caught fire during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were
They had
on
a
stage.
fire. They had a fireplace.
Right.
No, I wasn't on stage. I don't even think I was at that show.
Oh, okay.
But I
Yeah.
just remember Andy telling me somebody actually threw up on him during the show, and then the bar caught on fire.
Right. So I think I'm also mentioning this to try to compare those hell gigs to what it's like in regular Detroit scene.
Oh, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah. Not quite that bad.
Okay.
Not as big of a fire hazard,
It's
but
not a bit. Okay. So
but you will get heckled. Yeah, you will
get
Yeah,
heckled.
you'll get heckled. And the other thing, I don't know if they do that here, if they do this here, but they'll like jingle their keys. Do they do that?
No.
So people pull out their keys and they'll jingle their keys. That
That's
means basically like it's time to go.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I'm getting my keys, it's time to go.
Ah.
Yeah. So they'll jingle their keys at you till you get off stage. Yeah.
And
That's pretty brutal.
one final question is
Yeah.
you also run the Joke Gym in Detroit.
Yeah, so Joke Gym is a comedy club in the basement of our church. As far as I know, it's the only comedy club in the basement of an active church
Right.
in America.
That's amazing.
And we're trying to kind of like poke fun at religion,
Yeah.
poke fun at comedy. It's just a very laid back environment. We have
Yeah.
a really great time. People can check it out. The website is jokegymdetroit.com.
Yeah.
And we have shows every month, and it's Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
If you're passing by Detroit, make sure you
Please do.
Yeah, you pass by the Joke Gym. Drew, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Hey, it was a good time. Yeah.
It was a good time. Thanks for all the stories. We will get into the Patreon where we trash a couple of comics that we may or may not like, including one former person who has a certain job in America of authority that I am fascinated by because you keep telling me about him a lot. So I'm just going to get you to...
Sure.
Yeah.
You have to pay money for that one, folks.
Thanks for doing this. You'll be back in... your kid is from China.
Right.
And we're hoping that to see more of you in when you come back to China every time.
Absolutely.
And thanks everyone for listening. This has been a blast. Follow Drew on all the stuff you are seeing in the show notes. Follow me, all of the stuff. We will... I might do this again in the beginning of the episode, but we have just announced... I don't believe I mentioned this at all. We have just announced 2 theater shows later in the summer. Not regular theater shows. We're talking about huge. So we are bringing Joe Wong. If you're not familiar with Joe Wong, just look him up. He has one, I believe... the comedy set with the most views on Colbert, like stand-up comedy set, 6 million views on YouTube. When he went on Colbert, he has done Letterman. He also hosted the Correspondence Dinner when Joe Biden was vice president, and he roasted Joe Biden. This guy's an absolute legend. So he is doing 2 shows with backstage comedy at the Kiryu Stadium at Tongpo, close to Kai Tak Arena. On the 13th and 14th of August, and tickets are on sale, on the website backstagecomedy.com, and we also have Ben Quinlan headlining his own theater show on September 21st, and he will be recording it for him as a special, and that's also on sale right now. So come enjoy our theater shows, and also it will be a great way to support the art in Hong Kong. Thank you so much for joining in, and we will see you on the Patreon, patreon.com/ohopod. If not, we'll see you next week. Thank you.